Hello, Newman282 here, and welcome to a different kind of video. In the past, I've done videos on Digimon headcanons and ranked various types of Digimon and characters, but did you guys know I'm also a massive Pokemon fan? The worlds collide so often for me that, in fact, I have several crossover videos planned. This, however, is not technically one of those. Today, I decided to create a brand new Pokemon type. That's right, I have designed a new typing for Pokemon along with general effectiveness stats and even assigned it to existing Pokemon. I'm actually so excited to do something like this, so let's dive on in. And also, yes, I'm wearing all of my Boom merch, my Boom Razzle merch for some reason. Hi Boom if you're watching. I love it, it's comfortable, and he's my friend, so I'm gonna support him. You guys should also support him. Nothing to do with this video, but you guys should go support Boom Razzle. He's on Twitch and YouTube. Look him up. Anyways, I have never liked normal typing for Pokemon such as Porygon or Castform. I firmly believe normal type is meant to be like basic animals like Furret and Rattata. Normal type is not the only one bothering me though in this video. Electric type is a juggernaut in these games. As of this moment, the only type that is super effective against electric types are ground type moves. So I'd like to introduce you to my new type, digital type. I also considered using the name data type, but since that is an actual typing in Digimon media, I figured it'd be less likely for them to use. Though thinking on it now, Digimon is literally shorthand for digital monsters, so I don't know. Anyways, they're not going to do this anyway, so whatever. So what is digital type? I would describe a digital type of Pokemon as a Pokemon that would be mechanical or digital in nature and includes many artificial Pokemon, which we'll get to in a bit. But where does this new type land on the current effectiveness chart? As we already know, digital type will be super effective against electric types. I think that since code and data can be used to manipulate electronics, that's what digital types do to electric types. It'll also be super effective against fairy types. Now, fairy types are normally attributed to fairy tales and more olden-timey vibes, so digital would work well as it'd be kind of like giving an iPhone to King Henry. He ain't gonna know what to do with it. Does that make sense? Probably not. But either way, I don't care. Lastly, using Ghost and Dragon type rules, digital type will also be super effective against itself, other digital types. I like the idea of digital types struggling against a fight against another digital type, like how one wrong string of code can ruin an entire program. You know, the calls coming from inside the house kind of vibes. But with super effectiveness out of the way, let's move on to what digital types struggle with. Digital type moves will not be very effective against ice type Pokemon. These will mostly be based on wordplay, so please bear with me. When a program encounters an error or, has a mistake written in its coding, anything goes wrong with it, it can freeze the entire system. So yeah, like ice types, ice, freeze, frozen. You get the point. Bug types are also going to be resilient to digital type attacks. Similar wordplay here. A program having a glitch or a bug can cause the program to mess up and stop working. Again, I'm going based on just wordplay. But I also really like the wordplay, so don't be mad at me. Then again, digital v digital, same as before. We aren't done yet though. Digital type moves will have no effect on water type Pokemon. Yeah, if you throw a computer into the ocean, the only thing getting damaged will be the computer. This of course means that water types will be super effective against digital types, because again, you drown your computer, nothing's gonna work. In turn though, steel type moves will have no effect on digital type Pokemon. Digital implements control most metal machinery, so I guess that's kind of my reasoning. I don't want to hear any complaints though, because if flying types can be a weakness for fighting types, then I can do whatever the hell I want here. Now, obviously, we're gonna need a new evolution for this type. I'd probably name it something like Computeon or Webion, Nedion. Actually, Webion would work really well for like a spider-based insect type. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about. Let's go with Computeon. I don't have one drawn because I don't know. I'm not a digital artist. I would love to learn how to be, but I think part of that is talent. I don't know if I have that. But it would most likely digivolve with some kind of data disk item, or maybe even doing something using the PC boxes in the game, like having high friendship and letting it go into the PC box overnight, holding the data disk. I don't know. And Evolution is not the only thing I was looking at, though. There is another Pokemon who has different forms that I think would benefit from this. Our boy Rotom has to have a digital form. My first thoughts were maybe like having a Rotom possess a computer or like a television or something, but then I realized we already have a viable digital type Rotom form. Phone Rotom is the perfect candidate for a digital type form. Like, it works too well. He is literally transferring data and information digitally from one phone to another. It just makes the most sense. And he'll of course be electric and digital type to continue his usual trend. But let's get into the meat of this video. Being both the poster child and the inspiration for this video, I stand by my original statement. Porygon should not be a normal type. I always thought it should be at least electric due to its origins. It absolutely should be digital type. I mean, come on. It's literally an artificial Pokemon made entirely of code. Again, the literal mascot of this new type of mine. Now, am I a bad Pokemon fan if I didn't realize until this video that Voltorb and Electrode are not electric and steel? Yeah, they're just electric. So, I mean, let's just dual type them into digital. They're described as unknown life forms that appeared alongside the invention of the Pokeball. Maybe they were created from the excess data or something to that effect. I don't know, but either way, I really do love them for this. Oh my god, that was bright as hell. Okay. Alright, y'all. Now that my retinas are gone. First legendary here, but certainly not the last. Like Mew, Mewtwo is of course a psychic type, but obviously if he's here, I'm wanting to change that. Being an artificial Pokemon created using the DNA of Mew, which what is DNA if not biological code and data, I felt he was the perfect candidate to dual type into digital. I also wanted him to differ from Mew outside of just size. Now, I really love the idea of Unknown being derived from the earliest form of written data. Unknown is of course usually presented as psychic type, but what if they were the original digital type Pokemon? And people just didn't realize it at the time because they didn't know what a digital type is. Similar to how people didn't realize Jigglypuff was a fairy type and not a normal type, or I think they're dual type, but you get my point. You get my drift anyways. But yeah, I really like the idea of them just being like the kind of the basis of all digital type Pokemon. Now, this one is a twofer that won't pay off until a later video, but let's talk about Illumise. Illumise is of course regularly found to be a bug type Pokemon, which I don't necessarily want to change. So let's dual type yet again. Illumise is known for using its light to draw geometric designs in the night sky, which just screams digital to me, at least. In my head that works. Making Illumise bug and digital type also works well to have it actually differ from its counterpart Volbeat. I don't like when there are twin Pokemon or whatever that are the same typing. Like, I love Plusle and Minun. I wish there was something different about them other than their colors. But that's just me. Also, I'm realizing now I may say Digimon by mistake several times in this video. It's a Pokemon video, so you guys know that. But anyways, Castform is another Pokemon that upsets me with its typing. Of course, I understand the normal typing is there for a reason as it changes forms based on the weather, but I always felt it would do much better as a digital type. We can say it uses weather data to transform like a weather radar or Doppler radar or something. But yeah, I just think it would be cooler. Alright, I know Deoxys is not artificial like Mewtwo was, but being solo psychic doesn't fit my opinion, so I wanted them to be psychic and digital. Hell, I'd even say solo digital works here. Aliens fit the whole digital aesthetic well, at least what I have kind of envisioned in my mind. Though you could argue that Alien could be its own type. Now, Luxray has always been a fave of mine, but it always felt lacking in the typing department. Honestly, solo type Pokemon are kind of hard to place in a modern team without sacrificing too many weaknesses and strengths, so I would prefer him to be electric and digital, though I don't have any real aesthetic or lore reasons that it would work, so oops. Weirdly enough, though, Luminion is another one that immediately came to mind when I started this idea. It was literally Porygon Luminion. And I have a reason. I don't know if it's a good reason, but it's another solo type, this time water. But so I wanted to amp it up a bit. Making Luminion a dual type water and digital Pokemon felt right to me. The neon light it produces from its fins could be digital in nature if you have like a fun imagination. I just really enjoy Luminion being something other than just water. Alright, I'm going to start to sound like a broken record with these solo psychic type legendaries, but it's just so boring. So yeah, let's make Cresselia psychic and digital type. Honestly, it just gives digital vibes. Like, I mean, look at it. Look at it. Look at Cresselia. She's so gorgeous and I love her, but it just screams digital. I'm going to say digital so fucking much. It screams it. Don't yell at me. Speaking of yelling, hear me out, okay? Trubbish and Garbodor are so very poison, and I completely agree with that. So instead, I'm suggesting we do like a regional variant. I, again, don't have art for that because that's not what I can do. But, you know, these regional variants could be solo digital type. They could look more like a recycling bin icon, like the one you see on computers. And maybe even have a third Evo called Recyclor or something. And then if you wanted, they could work as poison and digital dual type. So I'm not against that either. Another Pokemon that is so very its type, I'm definitely keeping Klinklang a steel type. But I think its final form would be kind of cool as a digital dual type since it's so mechanical and robotic in nature. But yeah, another line that I actually love is Elgyem and Behem. This pair is yet another solo psychic type that is possibly alien in origin. So, as is my rule apparently, I feel they would work as being also digital. I like both of them for this, but would also be okay if only Behem was digital as he is the final form. So it's like a next step for them. I mean, come on. Cryogonal is a really cool ice type, but at least in my opinion, he looks so robotic and mechanical. But this one is where this is where I might cross some lines and yeah, I'm actually conflicted on this one. So hear me out. I know that type Null and Silvally are normal type on purpose for their whole gimmick of changing their type based on the items that they're given. I think is that where the plates are? I don't remember. Or I think it's a disc. A disc of data. I didn't want to mess with it too much, especially because like type Null, it's literally in its name. But they are artificial Pokemon. I originally had just type Null being digital and having the type shed once the mask is off, but maybe I should reverse that. The mask could be what nullifies the typing. So upon losing it, Silvally could gain the digital type and then either change with its usual items or have him gain a second type based on the item used. It would make him obscenely OP because you would basically be able to have a digital / blank dual type of all types, but I love it, so whatever. Plus it's also a very uncommon Pokemon, so I think it would work great. But yeah. Okay, again with the aliens or whatever Ultra Beasts actually are. Circuitry is very much an electric type. But wouldn't a dual type digital be even cooler? I know it's so unheard of me making something electric and digital type. So I actually love these guys and I wish they would get more exposure post go. I just feel like Meltan and Melmetal, both of them they're just such a cool Pokemon. They're so unique. But normally they are steel type. I again propose that they dual type here. I mean, their entire gimmick is based around transferring data from the game. So, like, yeah, they're digital. But yeah. Now, Failings. I love these little bitches, all right? I love them. Maybe my biggest reach of this video, but them all kind of being connected in a moving line could represent, like, lines of code or something. You know, okay, I've said the word multiple times now, so another possible name for this type could be like code type. That would actually
That could work because it wouldn't be data type and digital type are both so they're both words very a part of Digimon, but whatever. Anyways, that's fine. Whatever. Whatever. This is another one where I'm reaching. This is my only one that I based around their trainer and not them, which I'll get to in a second. But these guys, Tadbulb and Bellybolt, are great candidates for the dual type treatment. However, my biggest reason is the gym leader who uses them in Scarlet and Violet. I feel like her name is like Iona or Ioto. I don't remember her name, but she's a huge streamer. So I feel like aesthetically, having Tadbulb and Bellybolt be digital electric works really well here. But now we're on to the goodest boy. I love this big guy so much. Earthworm, love you. You're amazing. Don't change. Now, again, Steel type does fit really well here, but he definitely seems mechanical in nature. So I will again suggest a dual Steel and digital typing. All right, we've reached our final segment that I like to call all future Paradox Pokemon could be digital. That being said, this guy and the other two I've chosen are the best candidates of the group. Iron Jugulus is clearly a futuristic robot, and the dark typing is not bad, but the flying type feels so unneeded here as a substitute for its non-paradox typing. So, I am of course suggesting we swap it for the digital type, though I'm also open to digital dragon typing as well. Look at him. Look at the Iron Moth. Again, its fire type is very clear, but its poison type feels meh. So instead, I'm going to vote for fire and digital, which would make the most sense, be cool as hell, and also I think it's our only fire and digital type right now. Of course, this is not including if they were to make a new type, there's obviously going to be original Pokemon for the typing. But our last entry is also, of course, a Paradox Pokemon. Love the rock type, but the electric type feels lacking aesthetically. So, our last entry will be Iron Thorns, clocking in as a dual type of rock and digital. Yeah. But yeah, these are my guys, okay? This is it. So that's my idea for a new digital type of Pokemon. As much as I love Digimon, it was a lot of fun doing a Pokemon video, so expect more to come. Let me know in the comments if you have other ideas for Pokemon that can be digital type, or even other ideas for new types. One of my favorite things about some ROM hacks is like finding, like, I think it was Uranium had the radiation type, which was so cool. Like, I love shit like that so much. Homebrew types are just really cool. As always, though, if you like my content or this video in particular, please subscribe, like, and or comment. Also, feel free to check out my TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. They're all linked below. Beneath that, you'll find a link invite to our Discord channel, so feel free to hop in and join the 282. Thanks again, though, for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye! Game Freak, hire me. Do it. I could work for you.